Hello, today we're going to do a review of the Kato AC4400CW in Canadian Pacific theme. This is a 2024 release, so this came out this year. With that, this is not the first time that Kato has released these units in Canadian Pacific. It's actually the fourth time they released them. With that, one thing to note that this actually is the brand new paint scheme or a repaint for this specific engine. So it does not have the original paint scheme that came on the engine when it was new. So it's a new paint as of 2017, I believe. Something to note with that too, just for the specific run, if you're trying to get somebody like an older model, I've noticed that the paint is a little bit shinier compared to previous runs. And with that too, it is a deeper red as well. With that, it still does have all the features that you know and love from Kato, so they're still extremely smooth runners as always. And with that, it has a very crisp paint, which is they're known for, so it looks very well. And it has a lot of the warning that you can see on the side, and there's also some on the top as well. Something with this as well that's kind of a go back compared to more recent releases from Kato for engines is that all the detailed parts are actually not pre-installed. So some parts that you have to install yourself are actually going to be the handrails up front here and then the number boards up front here. So when you go off and get your engine, there's a little packet where normally it just has the pin hooks. In there is going to be the handrails and then also the number boards here. So you have to cut those out with the X-Acto knife and install them yourself. Other than that, it's very, very familiar, what you know and love from Kato. Just a comparison to, I do have some of the previous runs here. So like I said, so here is the comparison, the very first run that Kato ever released. I don't know if you can tell, the biggest difference here is going to be the golden beaver there. So the one on the right here from the previous runs, or the first run, has that more traditional golden beaver, where on the left for the new release here, it has that more kind of minimalistic golden beaver. Also, as well, the font's a little bit different. You don't really notice it too much on the side, but it's more so when you get to the front, you'll notice it. So if you turn the front, so the new one has the new version of CP's logo, and then the one on the right for the first release has the original CP logo. As we're pointing at the front here too, I don't know if you can notice, so the new release this round, they actually went off and they colored in the cab door window. So here on the new one, where on the previous runs, it wasn't colored in, so it's just that standard red molding. Other than that, going back to the side profiles as well here too. One thing too, so the first run of these engines, the trucks were not actually correct. So Canadian Pacific ordered them in the steerable trucks. The first run from Kato actually came with the high trucks versus steerable trucks. So if you can't, I don't know if you can tell, I can zoom in here a little bit, but that's the high rail trucks that it's on everywhere else from BNSF, DUP, NS, you name it. Canadian Pacific is one of the only people that had ordered them in steerable trucks. So the new ones came with steerable trucks on, that you can see there. It's a little bit different truck detail. Other than that, that's really the only differences there. I do also have their mid-2011 release for comparison as well there too. So, same thing. So this 2011 release, 2012 release is very similar to the first run, where it has that more traditional golden beaver, and then the paint is a lot more matte versus kind of a shiny paint. And then otherwise, the biggest difference is it has steerable trucks as well, and that's just the safety striping. So it actually is kind of dotted versus being the solid stripe. And then with it as well is the front handrails, so they don't have the white. So that is new for the new release, is having those white handrails. So that's all we have for kind of the bench here. I'll show you one quick overview. See the top as well. So it has your horn and your vents back there. But overall, it is just a standard Kato AC4400. So not a lot of super details, but I feel it's kind of a good model too if someone takes the show, because there's not so many things that can break compared to like a scale trains or something like that. So from here we'll go take you to the layout and start these up, as I do have locomotives with DCC and sound. Alright, so we are now on the layout and we'll go over some of the functions. So the track power is currently on, but I have the sounds off, so we can just talk about a couple things. First thing we'll go over is lighting. So I'll turn the lights on now. So with that, the lights are directional. So right now the engine is in the forward position, so the lights are facing forward. If I go off and change it into reverse, the lights are going to go to the rear of the locomotive. If I change it back to forward, they'll go back to forward. With that, as you notice, there is a headlight, the ditch lights, and the number boards. And they are all connected together. So unfortunately, you cannot control the headlights and the ditch lights and the number boards individually. It's kind of all or nothing. So if I turn the lights off, they all go off. If I turn them on, they all come on together. Next, we'll go over sound functions. So I'll start with the locomotive, and we'll go through some of the sounds, and we'll kind of go from there. So there are some of the sounds of the startup and shut down locomotive, along with the bell and the horn. This specific engine does have a LokSound V5 decoder installed into it that I got when I ordered it, so I did not do it myself, but it came pre-installed. And with that, so it has all the functions of a LokSound decoder. So there's a lot of sound options on there. If you haven't seen those, I'd recommend looking at their website, but there's about 20 different functions you can go through there too. And with that too, if you do want to go back through kind of talking about lighting, if you want to go off and change that, you can go in and wire individual LEDs. It's just going to be a lot more work, but there is kind of slots on the decoder board to do that, something you're interested in doing for yourself in the future. With that, I'll also show you the locomotive kind of running without sound. So one thing, since it is a sound locomotive, there is momentum built in for forward and backwards, but we'll kind of go over some of those nice quietness and how smooth it runs too, so even without the sound. So it does have that slight hum, but it's a very quiet hum. So just like any other standard Kato unit. So next we'll go off and get some running shot with the train going.